ready, but this is what I've always wanted, what I've dreamed about. My hunger was so powerful I could barely think, barely breathe. Please, take me now. I watched as the object of my longing drew near to me. When I first felt teeth electrify my flesh, I could not help but let out a cry. "You are not ready," my companion said. "I am," I insisted, desperate to propitiate my master. "Please, don't go, please. It caught me by surprise, that's all. I've never felt anything like that before. Never felt anything so overwhelming." I was gasping, begging, a cat in heat, consumed by this internal inferno that I could not quench. "Please, give me another chance." "As you wish, my child." This time, when he made contact, I winced, but did not flinch, did not gasp, did not pull away. As my companion slipped inside me, I felt so many sensations and emotions at once, I could not identify them all. Fear, pain, violation, but also an ecstasy, a mind-chilling bliss. The penetration went deeper, then deeper still, turning me inside out, bringing to life parts of me that had never been touched before. I was overcome by a rush of unbridled passion and a sweetness I had never imagined possible. I had slipped the bonds of this mortal plane and found another place, a higher dimension of unspeakable pleasure. I don't know how long the sensation lasted, an hour, a minute, a moment. I had lost the ability to stand, to speak. I was in a place that transcended time. I was aware of some commotion, some attempt to interfere, but it was all so distant, so remote. And my master's minions were strong enough to prevent any interruption. I was so far gone the spell could not be broken. Not until I felt my own hot blood trickling down my breast. "Was it all you dreamed it would be?" I heard him ask. "Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm glad. Farewell, sweet Colleen." "What?" I said, trying unsuccessfully to raise my head. "What's happening?" I was slurring, listless. A numbing torpor enveloped my entire body. "I feel weak." "Of course you do." My companion swooped me up and laid me gently on the altar, cushioning my head. "You're dying." "But why?" I managed to murmur. "So that you will live again," was the reply. "So that we will become one." My consciousness faded. I heard footsteps near and far, but the bleeding did not stop. I realized that I was covered with blood. How could anyone bleed so much and still live? This was not the way it was supposed to happen. This was not the way my dreams ended. But that is the problem with dreams, isn't it? Somewhere between the conception and the execution is a vast abyss. And the name of that abyss is death. Part 1. Too much information. 1. Tulsa, Oklahoma. As Ben Kincaid peered at his client through the acrylic screen, he was startled by how appealing, how downright cute she still looked. Usually the first few weeks behind bars took a terrible toll on first-time inmates. The lack of sunlight, the coarseness of the company, the absence of hair care and beauty products, the low-watt institutional lighting, the inevitable depression, all conspired to make the newly incarcerated appear as if they had emerged from the ninth circle of hell. But not Candy Warren. Somehow Candy had managed to retain her fresh-faced charm. When her father first introduced her to Ben, he had compared his daughter to Lizzie McGuire, perky, effervescent, goofy but lovable. 2 weeks in the slammer and a switch from Gap jeans to TCPD orange coveralls hadn't changed any of that. She was still adorable. She even had her hair up in pigtails. "So you talked to my daddy?" she asked, speaking into the telephone receiver that allowed them to communicate. "Yes," Ben answered. "He's worried about you, of course, but I assured him we would do everything we could. And I got him the present you wanted to send, the Hillary Duff poster." "Oh, that's wonderful." Ben loved the way her nose crinkled when she laughed. "Can you believe it? The man is in his 60s, and he's crazy about this girl who's barely a teenager. Isn't that wild?" Ben could think of a different word for it, but never mind that. Always refreshing to have a client who still cared about her parents. "I have some good news for you. To my utter surprise, D.A. Kennelly has made an offer." "An offer?" She lifted her chin, giving those pigtails an endearing bounce. "What kind of offer?" "A plea bargain. A chance to avoid trial. Assuming I plead guilty." "To a lesser charge, yes." Candy kneaded her hands. Ben noticed that her fingernails were painted electric pink. "But what will my daddy say?" "What will he say if this goes to trial?" "Aren't I entitled to my day in court?" "Yes, but that day is fraught with risk. Kennelly is offering you a sure thing." She sat up straight, throwing her shoulders back. "I can't do it. I can't take the easy way out. I owe that much to my daddy. And while we're talking about this, Ben, I want you to do something about those newspapers." Ben didn't follow. "Which newspapers?" "All of them. Have you read the articles they've been printing?" Creases flanked the bridge of her nose. "File some kind of lawsuit against them." "On what grounds?" "What grounds?" she said with great indignity. "They've been saying horrible things about me. They're libeling my reputation, destroying my good name." Ben shook his head. "Candy, Ben, don't. You know I have labeling issues." "Nonetheless, Ben, I don't want to hear." "Candy," Ben cleared his throat, "you're a hitman." She gave him a stern look. "Excuse me?" "Sorry, hit person." "Better?" Her face hardened. The adorable factor vanished. In the space of a second, she went from Lizzie McGuire to Lizzie Borden. "Now, what are you going to do about those goddamn newspapers?" Ben drew in his breath. "Nothing. A libel suit would be frivolous, given the circumstances. Detrimental to your criminal case, and so utterly stupid that if you really want to do it, you're going to have to find yourself another lawyer." She glared back at him with eyes like Uzi's. "Then what do you suggest?" "I suggest you take the DA's deal." He hung the phone receiver back in its cradle. "Be seeing you, Candy." Christina McCall sailed through the front doors of her law office with an air of insouciance, bouncing with each step, whistling as she walked. Jones, the office manager and part-time oracle, did his best to interpret the signs. He could tell she was in a merry mood, not only from the whistling, but also because she was dressed less like an attorney and more like, well, Christina. She was wearing a short, pleated skirt, knee-high boots, and a clinging sweater ornamented with irregular patches of fake fur. "I'm guessing you didn't get that outfit at Saks," Jones commented. "Dear Jones," she said, smiling, "don't you know? This is all the rage among the jeunesse dorée." Jones didn't know what that meant and wasn't interested enough to ask. "Is there a reason why we're whistling this morning?" Christina beamed. "Because it gives me a happy." "Uh-huh. May I assume from this unsuppressed display of jocularity that you must have beaten Ben at Scrabble last night?" She stopped at his desk in the lobby and snatched the pink message slips from her spindle. "Jones, Jones, you're so passé. We're long past the Scrabble stage." "Is that a fact?" he said dubiously. "Might I have the temerity to suggest the possibility that he actually kissed you good night?" "Jones, Jones, Jones," she leaned across his desk, still grinning. "You are such a busybody." "I'm just trying to stay up to date on this putative romance."